What is up, everyone? It is Taylor back from Afro in the Know, where the one podcast that you probably won't watch, but you'll definitely listen to, strictly for the sound of my succulent voice. From but past all that, I really love that opening. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, that intro was actually pretty good too.
yeah, I had to kind of rework some stuff on it, but I like that one even better than the original one.
Yeah,
It took me a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. What up, Flamingo?
Flamingo, Miss Flamingo. It's been a
Oh,
while.
same. It has been a while, but today
Been
is
a
a little
while.
bit different because normally on Afro on the Know it's a bit different than Afro on the Scorp. So today the interviewee is Scorpio, is BlkScorpio
Nice.
himself. Yes, because I don't really believe. I mean, you obviously we've done Afro on the Scorp before and all that stuff. They've seen people on you before, but I don't think they know a lot about you itself. They know a lot about me because I don't shut the fuck up. But they do. They do. They don't think
Well,
they
I
know.
mean, I mean, they should also know a lot about me because I'm the one that takes the crap from you. But yeah, other than that,
I don't know about. I mean, not always. Not make me out to be a bully. Like,
well, it is Afro, and I know.
yeah, it's Afro. Yeah, okay, and yeah,
Yeah,
you're up there too. You're right after episode 6 and the colon.
yeah. Even the colon gets more of a show than I do.
It does get a little bit more of a show than you do, which I mean, not that I'd be complaining. It is what it is. So, but anyways, I'm actually gonna let you have the floor on this one because besides that, like I said, I don't think everyone really knows about you specifically. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I want
I
them
feel like
to.
we kind of just built this, but it's like, but it was more primarily for you. That's the whole reason. Like, it wasn't more supposed to be about me. It was more supposed to be about you. Hence the whole like Afro and so and so, or Afro and the No, or Afro and the Scorp.
Right. Right.
Um,
Yeah, because
I'm
originally.
more okay. So now I'll get to if everybody really wants to get to know, or if they care enough. I'm more of the behind the scene. I'm more. I don't want to be in the front scene. I don't want to be in the front drive. It's like it's not for me. I'm more of the gamer aspect. Um, the podcaster obviously is you or Afro. If anybody is wondering who I'm speaking to. Um, but yeah, like I'm mostly primarily the one in the background to help out, to show face, to help give you ideas when you need them. If you're stuck, again, I'm more primarily in the background. Um, I'm more of the gamer, the trophy hunter. Um, I'm the one that also will keep me track of like when new games are coming out and stuff like that.
Afrofish, polka dot, Afro,
Yeah,
singing in the Afro circus. Afro circus. That sounds no, that sounds wild. Not gonna lie.
but
but
um, but
I,
other than that, there's not really much. Like that's why I'm perfectly fine just being the side. No, nothing too main. So whenever we have like the guests on, and I'm always the quiet one, and like I keep everything to come back full circle. That's more what I am. I'm more of like just the holding ground of the channel.
I mean, I would say it's more than that though, man, because it's like it's both of us. Like I said, no matter what, it's still both of us together. You know what I mean? No matter how you look at it. Um, it's always been, obviously this like well I know the idea was originally mine, but it's still like. And Afro in the Know is, like I said, it's different than Afro in the Scorp. So like, Afro in the Scorp usually, it's just you and I just bullshitting some way or another.
Right.
Um, but Afro in the Know is a bit differently. It's a little more, we talking with the people itself, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
my quote to you is for people who obviously don't know, their start on this. I would call it the story. You know what I mean? Like because you're the one who got me into doing the content creation. Remember that from all this your streams and stuff because you did that before.
Hmm.
So in a way, I would if you could walk them through how you got started when it came to the streaming, and so on and so forth. Because that's a you.
Well, with me, it's just ever since I just loved gaming, I just put it together. Ever since I met you, which it has been a long time,
It's been years.
years. Like since the 360 days, the Xbox 360. Like we were even sitting there, and I was like, you know what, Twitch streaming, why not? Why not just do it? So for like what 5 years, I've just been doing it just for like the whole shits and gigs. Like, oh, let's put a stream together. Let's put a stream together on Twitch. Don't know if I'm doing it right. This and that. Then, we met the whole group. Met not Smiling Jack, but another Jack, which that we know, Sir Skullux.
Yep.
Um, him and I, we spoke a lot more on the side, and then he referred a book. He referred the Twitch book, almost like the Twitch Bible. It's the actual Twitch book on how to get started on Twitch and to use that. And ever since we sat down, we just started speaking about it.
Mm.
It's like it's almost like the teacher and the mentor. He guided me maybe through some of it, but then the rest I just took off on my own. Using the fundamentals that he told me about, I basically built my channel, and I said, okay, you know what? Let's get serious. It took about 5 years. Three of those five were for shits and giggles. But for the last two, though, I actually sat down and I built the whole OBS system. I built my what I wanted to be. Like the whole BlkScorpio thing just came to be.
Why?
Like my whole brand.
I mean, and actually, my question is actually I don't think I've ever asked you why BlkScorpio. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever asked you that question. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, I've ever since like if you want to look at the constellations, fine, I am a Scorpio, but other than that, I do love scorpions. I have a tattoo of a giant scorpion.
Sorry, everyone, we're gonna have to cancel the podcast. I just we just don't do with Scorpios.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, we don't deal with fish either. We don't deal with fish either. So the channel's dead.
Yeah, channel's dead, guys. No.
It's just gonna be known as the Fro. No, but it was more like, I don't know, just hearing like even in a lot of code names, just hearing code names like Codename Scorpio, like it's always been my thing. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. It's just been a lot over the years. And originally, though, funny enough, I had that name back in the clan in the old days. The BLK was actually part of a clan.
What up,
Yo,
Andrew?
what's going on, Andrew?
What the old clan? What was that?
So
you're going to do like the
back in the days, back in the days, I used to join a bunch of clans. So when we're talking about the old days, we're talking about the OG days. You have like
I miss the old days.
Yeah, we're talking about clan gaming. We're talking about like if you weren't part of a clan, you weren't basically known.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about Rainbow Six. We're talking about like the original Diablos, the WoW days, the computer days versus the very first PS1 consoles, Xbox original consoles, back when like Rainbow Six had a name, Splinter Cell, when games were first, oh my god, non-pixelated.
Right.
And, like ever since Rainbow Six Vegas, I remember that's where I got the nickname, and I used to game a lot with someone that we both know with that has a mutual.
Well, and that interesting enough, the reason why I even met him before was because of he knew a dude named Cody.
Yeah.
And he knew Cody. I went to school with Cody, so that's how I met him, and then vice versa. Down the line, that's how I met you and the rest of them. So it's kind of crazy how that works.
Yeah, so we kind of like came full circle and stuff like that. So we used to have the clans and stuff like that, and he was never in a clan. I actually got invited into a few clans. So, but when I had that name, that actually stuck with me. The BLK actually stuck because I was part of a clan called Cold Black, and that clan has been disbanded multiple times. So originally it stuck with me, and then when I made
Wait, how does a clan get disbanded multiple times?
change of people, change of leaders, just over and over, it just gets disbanded. Like it gets formed, and then it disbands, and then it forms, and then yeah.
I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Nothing illegal back in the day. There was no hacking, none of that stuff.
I've just never heard of a clan get disbanded multiple times. Like that's
Well, because like remember also back then too, if you also like ran certain words and clan tag names, like it'd be flagged back in those days.
Oh yeah, but remember back when they didn't no censorship or anything like that though, right?
Yeah, exactly. So a
Anyway,
few times it got disbanded like because of that, because of some members and stuff like that. But other than that, it's just yeah. So the name just stuck with me. So we're moving on to the present day basically, and I just said, you know what? Since I love the two, I just joined it together. Plus, I couldn't put the parentheses around the BLK for some reason. It wouldn't let me. But yet I go into every other frigging game and there's always parentheses around people's names. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Screw it. It's just sticking together. So that's why whenever people see me, they either say BLK or they just call me Scorpio.
that makes sense.
It gives the option of both options.
Honestly, I think I barely call you your actual name anymore. So
right.
That's I think that's what I think it's kind of funny that happens too. Is that we like you just start using like your game, like whatever your gamer tag is, because for a while mine, originally mine was Darkstar, and then it became Oreo, and then now it's Afro, and it just it's funny.
But Afro stuck longer.
Afro, I don't actually know if Afro's actually stuck longer than Oreo, or Oreo was a long time, but it just. But that one I swapped out for when I swapped that one out for Afro. It's just. Yeah, I think this is the one that I'm probably most known for.
Yeah, like, it's your brand. This is your brand.
It's my what is that? The 1-800 contacts, like my brand.
Yeah.
So, but no, and that's and so you started your obviously content creation. You started Twitch streaming, and the first game you really went to go Twitch stream was like what was it?
Well, so I hit the 2-year affiliation mark. So I actually got affiliated back in 21. That's when I took it seriously. So just right by the end of COVID there. And I said, you know what? We're gonna do the Yakuza series.
Oh, okay.
And
I've never played the Yakuza.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I just find it a little weird now. Stuff isn't saving, but whatever. Once I was going through the Yakuza games, it's actually interesting the people I met along the way. That's how I actually got my very first mod. Funny enough, he's been with me for now 4 years.
Skolix?
Since 21.
Skolix?
Like, yeah. Sorry?
Sir Skolix or whatever?
No.
Which one's that?
Victor.
Victor? Who's Victor?
Exactly. See, you don't know. Like,
is he still in your Discord?
So he goes by Victor Triumph. Okay. He's been my mod since the Uncharted Platinums. That's the funny thing. Yeah, and I did the Uncharted series right after I did the Yakuza series.
Mm-hmm.
I did a 12.5-hour stream of playing the entire Uncharted collection and platinuming it all in 12.5 hours. And through one of my viewers, I met him, and it started off with some friendly banters, and he turned into my mod that has stuck around.
The Yakuza games are the silliest serious games you will ever play.
They are.
Really?
They are. Yeah. It's basically Capcom's version of run around, beat up as many people as you want, get money, and then get shaken down for the money and just have a good time style.
Okay, I'll definitely have to try those out then.
Yeah. But yeah, so since then, he's been my first mod, and then I also ran into my second mod, Sarah. See, like Skullix has been there too, but he hasn't been a mod at this point. Where like I'm going back to the OG of my Discord
Okay.
as well as my streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So, so when I put it together, Sarah came in around the time that I did, where I met Matt, who, aka Broken Sleep. He's changed his name twice. He became my mod during the RE4. No, sorry. Yeah, the RE4 original playthrough and the RE8 Village playthrough, which was literally at the beginning of 2012, 22.
Okay.
Yeah. See, so you see, it's a build up. Like this is how literally the mods came to be. This is how the forming of the Scorpion domain came, which is the oh my god, the Discord. And so after Victor's been there, he has his own stuff. He has like that's why he's barely ever in the channel, but he'll always be forever like that mod that's there in the background.
Right.
So he's, unless he wants to make himself known, he won't. He's made himself known a few times, but when it comes down to the OG originals, it'll be me, Matt, Sarah, and Raccoon. Now, Matt and I, we, like I said, since the RE4 original playthrough with going almost 100%ing on that, and the RE8, Sarah comes in, can I get a follow for follow type style? Thought she was fake. Matt went to go check, got her to come back in, and then she did a challenge, and then from there it started off as a challenge, and then everything started snowballing down from there.
And Sarah's good stuff. I mean, Sarah's always good. Like
I do, Andrew. I do have a YouTube channel. But the problem is that it's been dormant for 9 years. The reason why I say that, and I know it shocks everybody, it's been dormant for 9 years. It's because within the 9 years, I've been focusing more on Twitch than I have on YouTube. Once my Twitch has now gone up, I've been planning for this year to actually probably start. Well, no, sorry, not probably. Starting to do shorts. It's just a matter of getting my ass rolling into it and trying to actually video edit and do everything to start putting on there. I wish I could have done it with the Elden Ring stuff, but I can't. Eventually, I'll put stuff on there. But I do have a YouTube channel. It's just been dormant. Yeah, you can't seem to find it right now because I have nothing posted on there. I actually did try putting shorts on there not too long ago. Didn't work out.
Weird.
So, yeah. It's because I haven't video edited. I haven't done nothing. Like I just tried uploading from my Twitch, and then tried using that software from there. I mean, I could throw up my last Elden Ring run for the Shadow of the Earth Tree to have something on there.
I mean, that should work though. That should work. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. And I'm not gonna lie. Like, speaking of which, I mean, I know you did just finish your Elden Ring run that you guys can watch up on Twitch. I think they had saved so many of them, but yeah, I mean, it was I would say crazy to say the least. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, bro. You have the most boring run through I've ever seen, but it works. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? I don't go for the flash. I don't go for the flash. I don't go for the pizzazz. I don't go for any of that shit. I really don't. I'm just like, give me a sword, and I'm just the definition of insanity. That is my motto.
I would say it's just a big tanky boy. Like that's what you decided to go down there.
Who cares? But that's
I'm
the
not
thing.
saying bad thing. I'm just saying, it's just kind of funny because it was just like you walking around. I mean, granted, I'm gonna say the Bloodhound Fang is by far one of the best weapons in the game. In my personal opinion, it's by far one of the best weapons in the game.
You're the one that gave it to me.
Well, yeah, I
told you about it.
Oh yeah, I told you about it. I was like, go get this weapon because it will pretty much carry you the entire game.
Yeah, well, guess what? It carried me the entire DLC and game.
Yeah, the one I loved using a lot was the um Orvis Greatsword and the Blasphemous Blade. Those are two really good weapons. And I love, you dual wield both of them. The problem is that one does split fire and whatever, and it's just really fucking strong. But the Orvis is really good too. However, it also does split with Holy, and Holy is just not good against the last like three enemies. So I had to switch it to the big great sword, just the great sword,
Mhm.
because the Elden Beast alone is like 80% negates my move. So 80% of my damage is just gone. So all of it's getting hard carried, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should stop.
Yeah, just like the tip I got. Hey, maybe you should use the horse on the Elden Beast instead of just running in there.
I think I will say though, like I will say though, you had your Elden Ring run, and I mean also too for those who don't know, you are a completionist.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing. It's funny because that's to me is like these. I just could never be a completionist on any of my stuff. Um, I don't know how you do it because like the only time I would say that I've gotten the closest to being anything complete is like Persona 5, and I'm just too lazy to get the last one. Like I need like one more achievement. I just don't care. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you do that, man. I don't know how you do the completion runs.
Well, it's a lot of patience. That's for sure. It's a lot of patience and it's a lot of dedication to it. And I just look at it like I am not getting 100% of the game that I got if I don't go after every trophy. That's the way I look at it.
That's fair. That's fair. Because it's only. 'Cause I've noticed it's only like a AAA title. Have you tried bothering going through like indie titles?
Some of them, yeah. I have. It's not just all triple A's. Like I don't like I said, I don't go after only the main ones. Like I'm even trying to platinum Stardew Valley at the moment. I know. I know. It's weird. It doesn't look like it's a game for me, but like it's been on my list like just as a cozy game, and I'm like,
Hey,
yeah, my mind's
I'll
just like
never
chill.
complain about cozy games. Like that's one thing that I will always say is like I love cozy games.
But
Like
to me, that's just like kill. Go.
Yo, I mean that's fair. That's me too. That's me too. Like it's like that's why I play like Elden Ring and stuff because those are my
Oh,
cozy games where I'm just like,
yeah.
Foul Tan is not today, bitch.
Oh yeah. Or if you're in my case, do the Horlu fight with what is it, Godfrey? Yeah,
Yeah.
do a 14.5 hour stream on that one, then do another 2 5 hour streams, then do another like, come back in the new year and beat it for after another 4 or 5 hours.
You know what's funny? I find Godfrey not too bad. Like I
And
don't.
what level were you at?
Well, I'm also on New Game Plus. I was on New Game Plus 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
I only completed New Game Plus 1.
so
That was
yeah.
it. When I first went my first run, I was only like level 90 by the time I got to him. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you have half the world. Yeah, no, don't worry, I got this. I got this. Level
I told you,
123
bro. I
later,
told you,
that's when I beat
you
the
made it
game.
more difficult. You made it more difficult on your own. You made it more difficult on your own, and I'm like, I'm not giving you credit for making the game more difficult.
No, if anything, you should give me credit for beating the game like I did, like a rock.
No, dude, I that was so if you want to watch a really funny run, there was one I saw. It was in one of the boss fights against Radon, and everyone is just kind of like your character, just big, doesn't move, and they all have like spears, I think, and shields, and they're just sitting there, just just
Yeah, and then
even.
and then you just see me that just runs in there. I'm like, I don't care. Let's just do
That's
it.
all. Yeah, and it was funny because it was three of them, so like he couldn't take the computer couldn't tell her like so it was just like fuck it and just took off into the air.
Yeah.
So I cracked up at it. Now that you've finished the game and the DLC, I want to know the 5 boss fights that you figured are like I want to find like I want you to give me 5 of them that like are like I would say like your favorites, and then I also want you to give me 3 of them that you were just like fuck this.
Okay, so I would say Melania,
For
top one. She was
is
my
for
fave.
favorite. Okay.
She was my fave. I didn't find her actually as hard as everybody said they were, but then again, at the same time, I'm also the one that ran in there like a bitch with a mimic, and I'm like, we're doing this, and then
I
simped over the
told
second phase.
see
Yeah, yeah, simped over the second phase. Then the second one I would have to say was the Placidus fight. Third, oh no, sorry. Let me switch the Placidus fight to the third one. I would have to say Rolana. Rolana was amazing. She was my absolute fave
Rolana
from the DLC.
Okay, the twin
The
Moon
Twin
Knight.
Moon Knight. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, her fight's very pretty.
Yeah.
Like
It was like you want to dance with the blades, that's where you want to go. Between
you
her
know,
and Melania, it was just like perfect.
you know, it's crazy to me that she does not have a cutscene.
She doesn't need one. She
Like
doesn't
to
need one.
me, I would have. There's actually a person. I'll send it to you. But there's a person online who made one with the cutscene, and it's her staring up at the moon or something like that. And then when she sees you walk in, she gets off this chair, and as she stands up, she pulls like her swords out, and then as you see them both ignite, and I'm just like. Like, that's how you do a cutscene. Like I would say, at least to me, that's how you. I think that's how you do a cutscene.
Yeah. When it comes to the fourth and the fifth one, I don't really think there was any other one that I really cared for. That was like too like, oh my god, I like I would just die over and over and just go back, to be honest.
Which one?
No, there really wasn't any other two other than those three. I mean, the Placidus one was you just see this ball in the air.
Oh, the twin-headed like dragon look, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
it's just sitting there, and you're like, let me get closer, let me get closer, and let me get. Okay, is this thing gonna move? Like, let me get. Okay, what? Like, is it just a ball? Like, is this a statue? And then all of a sudden, it just opens up and just slams the ground. It's like, okay, I'm dead.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're doing this. Okay.
In the plastic Deus Ex fight, because I was like,
Oh,
just
Bale.
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 Did you do the
Yeah.
whole thing with Egon?
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, was he in there?
You know, when Egon's on the ground. Yeah, Egon will go and he'll be like, "Curse you, Bale."
Oh yeah, I heard some screeching, and then all I heard was in the corner, and I'm like, I don't know if he's dying or if he's getting like hounded by him. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
Bale
guy's
didn't do that really
useless. My
much.
mimic tier was doing the work, and here I am just like tanking some fire at some point.
Fire lightning.
Yeah.
Like and like I said, I still think it's cool that Bale, like when you see how fucked up Bale is,
Yeah.
and then you're like, Bale fought Placidusax, and you're like, what? He did what? Like,
Right? And it's like, okay.
I think the best part about a lot of the bosses is that they're like, man, we want you to feel like a badass, and I'm like, I really don't, because everyone's nerfed as fuck. Like you go
Not on
in,
my end. I wish I like not on
well,
my
if
end.
you look at and what I mean by is like lore wise, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Radon, big ass Radon. Nah, his mind is fucking gone. Yeah, is he a powerhouse? Absolutely, but mind is still fucking gone. Melania, her body's literally getting just absolutely dismantled. Moog allegations, but
Allegations pending too.
oh no, he broke him. He beat him. So Moog beat allegations. So that's all that matters. But then like, because I want to know, because I'll give you my 5, but I want to give, because I did, the one I did my first time, I didn't include any of the DLC bosses, but I wanted to give me 3 of them. We were just like, dude, I can't, like, I'm not.
The sunflower boss was the first one. I'm like, I can't deal with this shit.
Really?
I'm like, screw this. I just give me a giant weed whacker. I can't deal with this shit. Like when I found out it wasn't even worth just getting to like, I know I would not have added the DLCs if you had me closer to when I platinum the game. I would have given you like hands down no DLCs. But like when you're asking me now, I just finished the DLC, so that's the only thing, like the bosses that I kind of remember. But yeah, hands down the sunflower boss, I can't deal, and I cannot deal with cheap shitty ass tactics, especially from the one who rides like animals. I'm like, you're a boss, and yet you're no.
Gaius,
Yeah, yeah,
Commander
whatever.
Gaius.
Yeah. The one who
Yeah,
wants to be known as Commander Garrus there, but he will never.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah, like he rides on the big old bull pig.
Right?
Yeah,
And I'm
so
like, all you're gonna do is you're gonna sit there, you uncultured swine. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you.
uncultured. Fuck, like I felt okay. So I agree. I hated Gaius's fight. What's interesting is I've been watching. There's a dude online who's been doing all these bosses on level 1 runs, and so what he's been doing is he's been playing them purposely on level 1 to see if they're like if they're still good. Because he's like because I'm on level 1, I have to know the ins and outs of every single move I make, which makes sense. That to me, that makes sense. So he's fighting Gaius, and he said Gaius is one that just his charge attack is so bullshit. Like
it is.
yeah,
Like I'm even sad. I'm like, I'm going from weed whacking to being a freaking butcher all of a sudden. It's like,
and remember
why?
that dude trained Radon.
Ew,
Lore
that
wise,
piece of
yeah.
shit.
So
So
that dude, yeah,
no
the dude
wonder why
on the big
Radon
old
was a
hog
big bitch.
who looked, he trained Radon, Radon, so Radon.
Redung.
Radon. But yeah, I want to know. You got one more? One more that you just like? Nah, I don't want to. I don't want to keep doing this.
I was gonna say, did you hit a 1-up block? Oh,
No, I gotta.
um,
It's my.
no, it's all good.
Jesus Christ! Stop fucking sending me shit.
I would actually have to say the Radon fight, the concert Radon fight. As
Yeah.
much as a great fight it was, like I had a fun time. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, you can pay me $1 million to do it again.
I think
If you did, there better be a summons.
I think the thing was funny was like when he floats in the air, and I'm just like, oh, because like so one of the interesting things is that when he does his little Beyblade spin, they slowed that down. They gave you more time to actually set up. Before they didn't. You walked in, he was immediately spinning. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And so he would like, how many times I would go in, and then, because if you don't dodge correctly, that's it. So I would go spin a ridge, like boom, and I was like,
ready for round 10.
All right, I was like, I didn't even get a round 2. This guy was like, come at me in round 5 because I'm gonna take you out in round 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I feel that because if I look at like the 5 bosses now, if I look at the 5 bosses now, I would say the dancing lion one is definitely like a very fun, interesting one. To me,
it felt like a festival. It felt like more of a showboating thing.
It was. I mean, considering it's just a giant puppet.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't that in Liza P? But like the
no, it doesn't need it. Liza P.
But yeah, when I first saw it, and I was like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? And then I watched some video on it, and they show that there's actually 2. You can see the 2 people. I think they're 2 horn scent. And so they're 2 horn set. One is the head of the horn set, and one is the back end of the horn set. And so while they're fighting, they're like almost in sync. And so like when they do the one where he like stands up on his rear end, it's just the dude in the front jumping on the dude in the back, breathing like lightning and stuff. And I'm like, this is really odd, but also awesome at the same time. I think it'd be a lot funnier if they all had like Air Forces on, like
right. Or one of the gusts of wind just manages to knock everything off.
Right, just
just reveals a head.
And he's like, hold on, and then runs back and puts everything back on again and keeps on going. No, I believe so. I would still say, I mean, some of my favorite ones. I guess they've kind of changed. They've kind of changed now, since I've played them. Like, I would definitely say that. Going through, I would probably put Renala's down a little bit more because I think I had it at 4 or 5 at the time. Actually, I think at the time, and I'd probably put it down closer to like 8, 7 or 8. I probably would just take Morgoth's just straight off. I don't find Morgoth's that enthralling.
Sorry, you just triggered one for me. Sorry, but go on. I'll tell you after.
I would probably Midra's was definitely on that list. But getting to Midra was actually scarier than anything.
Okay, getting to Midra was just a bitch. Fighting Midra just made me want to shoot myself.
Like Midra was cool. I liked how Midra's look and how he flow. Do you know I got hit by a fucking like biting fucking bitch Midra, and I got pissed.
I died to it.
Yeah, I died to it too because I didn't take him seriously. Like,
right?
because he's like, I'm like, damn,
am I taking this?
that's a
Like I
chunk
even
of
said, am I
health.
taking this shit seriously?
Yeah. And then so I was like, no, fuck you. And then when he like rips his head off and then like is like the frenzied flame just comes from it, like is in place of his head. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Granted, madness is basically in PvE, it's basically useless.
It's funny when you say it's like at one point, yeah, during that fight, I'm sitting there, I'm like, if this is freaking madness, then I'm getting freaking pissed off. Like at this fight, I don't want to do this anymore. Like if this is calling madness stupid now.
Well, and that's the thing, because madness itself isn't actually all that much in PvE. In PvP, that's where the strong gets really strong. And so, and I think it's because, when you hit someone, they're like, and then they like end up, they're holding their head so they're stunned and stuff like that, compared to, poison or whatever. If you get hit with Scarlet Rot, you might as well just die. But like,
my worst when it comes to that stupid shit is Blight. I hate Blight.
The Death Blight? Yeah. Did you go into the tombs?
Pointless, but so useless, but so stupid at the same time.
Do you go into the tombs with the eyeballs?
Yeah, I've been in there. I'm running across, and all of a sudden, like my guy just. I'm like,
yeah, he's like and just like and everything just starts shooting out of him, and you're like,
yeah. I'm like, when did I become a pig on a spike all of a sudden? I'm like, what the hell killed me?
You know what always got me really odd is the fact that so you fought Fortisax, right?
I fought a lot of them, yeah.
Okay, it was like the Fortisax was the dragon with the lightning, and okay, yeah. And did you saw Godwin?
Sorry,
you saw Godwin, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, about what? No, is this what happens to my body after I go? Like, because I know his soul was destroyed, but his body wasn't, and then at the same time, Ronnie's body was destroyed, but her soul wasn't. So it was like an exchange of deities. But like, yeah, when you look and you're like Godwin the Golden, then you look at him and you just see like the way that his face is, and it's like all messed up, and then you just see his he's almost like a fish body, and I'm just like, you telling me this motherfucker was a mermaid?
Right.
But there was someone that actually modded it so that when you run close, its fucking arm just moves open, and I was like, oh, I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
Oh, that's his pit. He's the pit.
Yeah, so like that, and that's what the thing. So the boss fight, you would see like Godwin, Godwin the Death Blight, and it would just its arm would move up or something like that. And I was like, honestly, I think it'd be a dope ass fight. I really do. I think it'd have been interesting that instead of Fortisax, it was Godwin in that Death Blight form. So you don't have a choice. You have to get close to him.
Yeah.
Like that would have been a very tough fight. I'm not saying he has to move. He can basically be moving like stuck as like the tree form, but you have to actually use, to get close to him. But I do believe like I said, he's also it's weird because he's technically, so lore wise, he's dead, right? But if you try to hit Fia, he will attack you.
Oh, there have been so many times I really wanted to.
Yes, if you try to hit Fia, he will attack you. And so it's
at that point I was like, do I need to keep him alive? Because every time it said when I beat the putridescent knight or whatever, and then it opened up, the flower there, and I'm like, shits and giggles, am I supposed to accept this hot ass looking flower? Like, am I supposed to accept the nectar? And as soon as it did, it says, oh yeah, by the way, you're dead, your heart is gone.
Trina, Saint Trina's.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden and then he's sitting there and he's like, leave me, I need to be alone for a bit. I'm like, okay. I go to the Grace, come back, bruh. What are you supposed to do? Leave me. I need to be. I'm like, you're gonna meet my fang pretty soon. I'm like, do I need to keep on hearing this shit?
You know what got me with that? It wasn't even Saint Trina. It was, I mean, not even in the putrescent night. It was the drop, because it was like, oh, I'm not going to jump from this.
Oh yeah, the drop got me too, but I dropped at the wrong part the first time. Because I knew at some point there will be a drop.
Mm-hmm.
But mid game, I just dropped. I'm like, okay, I feel like there's a boss down here because don't listen obviously to those signs that are on the floor. There is a boss. I have a feeling there is a boss. And you know what? We're ready. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. As soon as I jumped in, you died. I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, and that's what's so crazy, because when I dropped it, you're falling through and falling and falling and falling and falling, and I'm like, where's the you died sign?
Okay, that's exactly what I said too. And at one point, my game actually was slow enough to to lag out there, and it actually did say the you died sign after a while. I'm like,
see, I dropped, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, so where, what is going on? And then out of nowhere rides this fucking skeleton on a skeleton horse, and I'm like, oh no. But I will admit, the one thing that threw me off from it, I was like, that dude's holding a fucking boomerang.
Yeah.
Like, and then his spin attack, because I was like, not only was I getting pissed because the horse would come up and then try to attack you, and then like I would get hit by that, and then I get hit by the second thing, and I'd instantly die. But it was the fact of this motherfucker is spinning on a horse. Like he jumped off the horse and proceeded to try to Beyblade me.
Yeah.
I don't like, how is that even feasibly possible?
See, I don't know if you use the summons or not, or your mimic tier while you fought someone. I just said screw it. I just broke every like cardinal sin by summoning and having a mimic tier. That's why I had the best time during the Rolana fight.
Oh, during the Rolana fight was, like I said, the Rolana fight is so much fun.
No, but the whole point, I was like, I had the summons and I had my mimic tier and there was me, so it was like a 3-on-1 gangbang the whole entire time. And then when I finally won, it's like, damn, bitch could hold her own in a threesome. Clipped.
And that's the thing, is like, when I was fighting Rolana, and
the same one, Rolana, or you're talking about the original?
No, yeah, Rolana, not Renala.
No, I said Rolana.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking Rolana. So when I was fighting Rolana, and like to me was the fact of I didn't think much about this, but all of a sudden when I saw her go into her Toon Moon state,
yeah,
and I jumped and I watched my mimic tier just take all of the damage. I'm just like, why did you forget to jump, buddy? Like,
I feel like the mimic tiers just have one thing on their mind: tunnel vision.
Oh, it is, because like when you use it, it's funny because when you fight against what's her name, the Melania, right?
Yeah,
and she goes into her second form and she's floating in the air, and your mimic tier is like, oh, I don't care about this, call it rotten. Like, they just run in anyway and just keep on swinging, and I'm like, I know my character, my mimic tier is gonna die, and there's nothing
right. It's like, I'm sorry, you're like a perfect splitting image of me, but where did we lose our intelligence?
Oh yeah, our marbles are just gone. Like, it's just, you can hear them be like, bah, 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 and then it's going.
Oh man.
And that's why, like, when I saw the look of your character, and I don't know why, but the first thing I saw was Super Troopers. But like,
when I had the metal
yeah,
hat
the big old metal hat,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, Super Troopers. Like, but no, I think overall, like, it must have been, it still must have been a fun ride for you though too.
Dude, it was like, what? Like I said, I could curse the game from here to the moon. I could like, I've never ever thrown a controller obviously through a window or through anything.
No.
See, I like I said, I'm a special breed when it comes to it. I'm one of those, I could sit there for hours going, just literally the definition of insanity, running in a million times expecting a different outcome and it will not happen. That's my motto for my stream. The definition of insanity. You could sit there, and I have streams, and I had people actually watch it, which I'm surprised that you could watch an entire 6 to 8 hour stream of me just dying over and over. Like at one point, it's like, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? You will see that bar eventually go down to a sliver, and I die, and then it'll be I die instantly. Where's the give? I had people come into my streams being like, I've never seen a boss do that. I warn them. I say, if you come into my stream and you haven't seen anything, I guarantee you will see it somehow in my stream, whether it be a glitch or whatever. Like during my Wukong battle, we people thought it was a glitch. I got sent through a wall, but yet you were supposed to get. You had the option of fighting in snow instead of in fire, and I whooped his ass.
That's crazy. Like,
But I did
play.
break the game like 3 times, where like I broke people's second transformations. I did break them. But I did it for. I don't do that with every game. I just, if it happens, it happens. I'm like, I'm taking it as a win. I don't care.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Some games you can break. I know, like for example, Metroid Dread. I don't know if you played. I don't know if you ever played Metroid Dread or not.
I've never played a Metro game ever.
But you can actually break the game. So at one point, you can get the speed boost mechanic and like the super bomb, the super bombs, way earlier in the game. So by the time you fight one of the bosses, you could just super bomb them right away. That's it. And it's one hit instead of like a bunch. But like, but yeah, like it's now that it's like it's kind of the experience is done. That's why I said I recommend you going through and just trying different builds. Because like once you get high enough level, they are kind of fun. Different, like what one dude was doing, and I think it's kind of funny. So you get all of the remembrances, and then you go fight them with their own weapon.
I mean, I wish I could, but I can't. Like my first, okay, so my first playthrough of Elden Ring before I platinumed it, the base game, I brought my character up to at least level 170 or 180. But I've killed every boss, every field boss there was, all the way. The only places that still had it, that still had the main boss and the field boss, was the Halleck Tree and the Altus Plateau.
Really?
No, sorry, and the Giants, the Mountain of the Giants. That's it. The entire map was done. I mean, day, night, everything was done. The DLC added 83. I'm down to like the last final 20. There's nothing left for me to do except for kill them. I'm like, I'm done.
Right.
No, I'm like, now I have to focus on Bloodborne. I have to focus on Liza P. I have to focus, like, those are my next ones to platinum because I got Wukong out of the way. The funny thing is, I wasn't supposed to touch Wukong. Like, I was supposed to go after, like it was ever since our podcast way back in the day of like, funny how it's way back in the day. It was only last year. At the beginning of last year, have we ever touched a Souls or a Souls-like game? And for anybody that hasn't seen that, go check that one out because you'll see we both have never touched a Souls or a Souls-like game. Never. Till this year, which is 2024. You started off with Elden Ring. I started off with Bloodborne. I beat Bloodborne. You were still on Elden Ring at that point. I moved on to Liza P. I beat Liza P. You beat Elden Ring, and then you tried Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 3.
Sorry?
Dark Souls 3, yeah.
Yeah, you tried Dark Souls 3. Then once I beat Liza P, then I moved on literally to try to get the Elden Lord title by 2024. I did them 4 months apart each. I did Bloodborne, Liza P, and then I did Elden Ring. Didn't get the title of Elden. I didn't get the title of Elden Ring or Elden Lord until 2025, which was on my streamiversary date for my second year. Which was back in January. Then I did Wukong right after, and then now, like once I planned on Wukong last month, I just did Elden Ring this month.
No, and that's what's crazy is like you have all those. You constantly are just constantly moving. You know what I mean? So it's one game after another game after another game after another game. And the thing too, I would say is it's, I know myself, I kind of moved from Dark Souls 3 over to right now I'm doing I asked you on Discord the Tomb Raider franchise, right?
Yeah.
And that was the one I won. It was a tie between the Tomb Raider franchise and Metroid Prime. Um, and I decided to do the Tomb Raider franchise, and so I went through Tomb Raider 1, and I'm going through Tomb Raider 2 right now. I did one today. It was only long. It was only for like 45 minutes because I just was not really feeling it. But I did finish Tomb Raider 1, and that was good. I know a lot of people from what I heard, there were some people who were upset by the different look of Lara, but I honestly love Lara's look throughout the game.
Honestly, I love the trilogy. I love from the new Laura, from the definitive all the way to the shadows. I love this Laura more than the original.
I do too. Um, I know for me it was seeing Lara change, and once she, the big thing to me is she got that first kill. It kind of messed her up, but then you don't have time to sit there and laminate or lament on it. She had to pretty much just keep surviving.
Well,
And
yeah, because it's all in that same time frame. It's not like, oh, this happened months later. No, she's on the island. She's still on the island. She gets off that island and finds herself on another island, and she's still dealing with the same enemies.
mm-hmm.
It's
And
like
now she goes
she's
to
literally battling the elements within that same time frame.
Oh yeah, and she's at the same time too. I think a lot of people might have confused, you know, for and this is something that is I do kind of joke about it in my live stream, but the thing to me that was kind of frustrating was the fact that yes, I get it. They're trying to use logic to try to figure out what's going on, but in reality, there's really nothing that's making sense.
No. Well, again, it's video game logic, right? Like there's real life logic versus video game logic. Like some do cross over, but then there's some that's like, okay, if it was real logic, you wouldn't have a video game because the character would be dead. Like there's no way. If and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. Um, so, and that's my thing that I did enjoy with it was the fact of you're becoming the Tomb Raider. You know what I mean? You're becoming the this Tomb Raider that we see, and then to the second game, I've been enjoying that. To the third, obviously, I was going to do a stream of Mirror's Edge. Um, um, and so Mirror's Edge would have been a fun one, and I'm still going to do it. I know my wife doesn't come home for a little while still, so I might actually do it still.
Mm-hmm.
At least till she gets back, and then I was gonna go to the store, and I gotta get food and stuff like that. But I was gonna make chicken something, but I really don't know if I'm going to. I want to make chicken, so I'm like, okay, I'm still probably gonna go to. I just don't know what I want. You know what I mean? I don't know what I want to make.
Well, since we're talking about food for a second, I have to ask you: have you had Jimmy John's before?
Yeah, I've had Jimmy John's.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's
for a
all
sandwich
right.
place.
I mean, it's all right. Like I don't really get the sandwiches; I get wraps.
Okay, because it's coming to the falls. It's coming up here, and so I'm like, oh, let me ask since you know about it. Like I love my Subway and all, but if it's good, I'll try it.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I've never had anything with it. It's exactly what you would expect. You know what I mean? If you've ever had a sandwich shop from any kind of chain, a Subway or whatever it is, you're kind of just getting the same thing. It's not bad. It's just kind of okay.
No, that's fine. It works for me. I could have Subway every day. I love Subway, so.
Yeah, you might be the only one, man. Because I'm not gonna lie.
Well, but keep in mind too, there's a difference. Up here, our Subways are better than our Mr. Subs, and then we had Quiznos at some point, but then it's like.
Yeah, I don't think whatever happened to Quiznos. Did Quiznos go under?
Probably.
Yeah, I have no clue. All I know is that Quiznos was
like we also have Firehouse subs and stuff like that, but like I just love my sub, like my fresh Subway. But again, like Subway up here is probably different from like where you guys are.
Right. And that's why I have no clue. I have no clue about subs. I just go and eat. They had like a that's all that matters to me. But
Hey, that's the real gamer fuel. Forget all this G Fuel stuff. Gamer fuel is actual food.
you're right. And that's something that's interesting to me is I want to because I know I'm still continuing on with playing video games that I think that people said are bad and replaying them to see if they're actually good. However, I kind of took a break from that for a second because Oblivion showed up.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm actually intrigued that Oblivion showed up and that you were playing it.
And it's funny because they were like, "Hey, we're gonna do we're gonna do the already.
All right, Flamingo.
Have a great night." And so when I look at what am I gonna talk about? When I look at Oblivion, and I was like, "Dang, this is not made by Bethesda. It was created by someone else. It was like the remaster version." And I'm like, "That's awesome. Keep that going."
See, I never played it.
And that's the thing. That's why it's great to have a remaster because then you get a chance to play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll get to experience it the first time and so on and so forth. And so what got me was the fact of, and I'm kind of bouncing here. Say Flamingo-tastic. You too, you too, Flamingo. And the thing to me about it is the fact that shit, I said that. Now I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Well, you were talking about how it was not made by Bethesda and that they should carry on with the way that they're going.
I did do a video about that, about Bethesda and about just how I think if you're going to do remasters, I don't think it's a bad thing to send them to outsource them to somewhere else.
Well, hey, look at Silent Hill 2. I've never played any of the original Silent Hills. All of a sudden, this company comes out of nowhere, Team Blubber, which is still under by I don't know. Maybe I forgot who it's under by, but they did it and it was fantastic. That was my first platinum of 2025.
Right. And and look at Vicarious Visions.
Yep.
They did the Insane trilogy, they did the Spyro Reignited trilogy. I think they
did. And then they gave it to Toys to Bob's, and Toys to Bob's is now talking about a Spyro the 4.
Really?
Yeah, about Spyro 4 coming out.
I didn't
in the works. Oh, I've been looking up on it since I love Spyro. Like I've been a huge Spyro fan.
Huh. Yeah, I had no clue that they did that. So, and they did do a really good job on it. We're getting remasters that I think these are getting to become what a remaster should be. Updated visuals, different, polished up gameplay. There's not much I can ask for. You want to bring it to 4K? I don't care about 4K, but fine, why not? You want to bring it a little bit better in terms of the look and visually, sure. Sound design, sure. You know what I mean? Because the games are still the same. Now, that doesn't always work. I know, like the collections for ratcheting or for not ratcheting, for Sly Cooper were good.
I'm hoping they remake those because I really want to try Sly Cooper.
But Sly 4 was not, in my opinion.
Like I said, I hope for a remake of all of them.
Yeah, and that's fair. All I know is that I am not going to get mad at it because yeah, no, it's made by Sanzaru, and Sanzaru I'm not, no. So I was looking it up real quick and I saw that, yeah, no. So it's yeah, I'm gonna get pissed because Sanzaru made Secret Agent Clank. Secret Agent Clank is not very good, and then they made Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. And while Thieves in Time isn't the worst in terms of gameplay, its story is butt cheeks.
Well, they're on a roll of going downhill. So why go better all of a sudden?
Because Sly 3 was a good finish to the series, and then you're like, no. We're not going to finish the series. We're going to make our own version by character assassinating all of the characters. I'm sorry, I meant go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it pisses me off. Pisses me off so much. But hey, man, I'm proud to have you on here. I think this has actually been one of our better streams. I know myself. I know you've had a busy day today. I'm tired. I probably shouldn't have played basketball before I did this. And so, like, I'm
No,
pretty correct. But
it's all good. But before you leave, did you know that Ghost of Yutai finally got a announcement?
when
October 2nd, the same day as the Directive 8020 from Dark Pictures.
I'm gonna get Ghost of Yutai first.
I'm
I'm gonna get Ghost of Yutai first. I'm gonna do it.
gonna get both.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get that woke game, playing them woke
Hey,
games.
I'm gonna get both because I'm also at the same time not gonna be playing it that month because I would rather save one of those games for maybe December. No, because okay, so now I'm gonna just quickly finish this up. Like, um, I have my another little goal that I set for myself to get like between 5 and 10 platinums this year. I already got hit 5. I got Silent Hill was January. 2 of them in February was the Stanley Parable and Cyberpunk. March was Black Myth, and then Elden Ring was this month. So we're gonna be doing Night Rain, you and I, when it comes out.
Yep.
October for me is gonna be filled with Dead Space, the remaster, for the very first time. I'm not sure if I care about planning that, but the Alan Wake 1 and 2 series is going. So that's gonna be my busy October. November, I was thinking of, you know what, if Ghost of Yotai comes out, then I'll probably do Directive 8020 and Ghost of Yotai at the same time. Try to see about planning one of those two, but then I want to do Assassin's Creed Shadows and Mirage at the same time on December. So a festive New Year, like that's plans I have right now. That's my list on the go.
Well, and and that's why, like, for myself, there is I got a few still. I got to finish. I still got to finish Forspoken. I get lost in the side quest. You know what I mean? You get lost in the
Which is
world.
fine.
Same with
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like even Veilguard, I never got a chance to play, but you're my info
Yeah,
right
Veilguard's
now.
another one too that I got to get into. Starfield will be one. I don't know when I'm going to do that one, but I'm actually going to go through Starfield, and then I'm going to be like, hey, this is how I feel about the game. Let's take a look into some of these bad games.
Well, the one that we know is going through Starfield. He's like, I haven't heard anything bad about it now. Blah 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 blah. So I'm like, I don't care.
It's because nobody's playing it, but Starfield will be one. Obviously, the Elder Scrolls. Doom: The Dark Ages is coming through, and Expedition 33 drops tomorrow.
Yeah, I've seen already people on the pre-release on that one.
I work.
Yeah.
Of course I fucking do. They could have aired it. If they did it today, that would have been everything. So Expedition 33 is one. I am not streaming that one, though. I will record some clips, some videos for footage, but I will not be. But before we go, I want to say, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
There's only one place you can find me at the moment. It will be on Twitch. If you type in TTV BlkScorpio. If you can't find me with that, I also do have an X account with the same name. The only difference is instead of Scorpio, it'll be Scorpion90, Scorpion90. If you ever want to check that out. But who cares about using X? Just find me on Twitter or Twitch, sorry, and you'll be fine there.
All right. That's it?
That's it for now, because you will find me on YouTube soon.
All right. Well, that was easy. And for myself, you know where to find me up on TikTok. You know to find me up on Twitch. YouTube is another one. Well, obviously, because we're streaming from YouTube. We're streaming from Twitch right now. This will also be, I think I'm going to have at least a couple other podcasts coming up as well with some new faces, hopefully soon. So I'm aiming for hopefully one maybe next week or the week after. And if so, that'd be great. But we do coming up in June, the end of June and July, I'm aiming to do like a group one. So hopefully you, me, Game Gab, who was on here before, possibly maybe I'm going to ask Sage, Goofy. I'm going to ask Goofy, see if he'll join it too.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I'll take a look on that one. But anyways, As always, I'm Taylor from Afro OG, and I'll catch you all in the next one, everyone.